In some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
Don't wait till the last minute. We want to make sure everybody's ballot's counted.
Now at 7, Oregon's special election is tomorrow. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live this hour with the latest on voter turnout.
Plus, the Clackamas County Commission is set to select former Commissioner Melissa Fireside's replacement. We'll have a look at who's up for the job.
And an event all about Adam Sandler and his works of art. We're going to take you back to the Sandler party at this Portland park, and we're going to hear what Adam himself had to say about the event coming up here in the live streaming 7 o'clock hour of Sunrise.
Good morning and happy Monday to you. I'm Shannon Green.
And I'm Drew Carney. It is a Monday. China thought it was Tuesday earlier, but oh no, baby. We've got a full week ahead, starting with right now. Ashley Graham's filling in for Chris McGinnis, and Rodney Hill's got your Monday forecast.
Yeah, good morning. Remember, cold front coming in. We expected rain. We have it this morning. We have a KGW weather impact alert up because this rain's coming through during the morning commute. Nothing stormy, but obviously wet roadways often lead to an enhanced chance of some accidents and slowing. There's a heavier rain pocket up around Longview, and generally speaking, as we get into the 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock hour, there's a better chance of some heavier rain rates. So far, most of it's been light. So the impact alert is up through 10 o'clock this morning. Slow down, extra time with the wet roadways. Here's the Oregon Zoo camera. You can see some breezes up there in the West Hills. Winds today could pick up 10 to 20 when the front comes through later this morning. We're at 50 degrees up in the West Hills, and downtown's at 52. There's the impact alert in red. But after the front comes through, noon to 5 o'clock, just a few scattered light showers around and a high of 64. Here's Ashley.
And we start the 7 o'clock hour with a traffic alert for those of you who travel eastbound on Interstate 84. ODOT reporting a crash here, and we can't see those emergency vehicles there in the left lane. And I've actually seen a few emergency vehicles on the westbound side as well. It looks like some debris from this crash spread across the freeway here. It looks like several vehicles are involved. So this is slowing down again that eastbound commute on Interstate 84. This is at the intersection with about 33rd, so give yourself some extra time if you're getting through there. I will give you guys a look at the Interstate Bridge area. This is our camera up at Jansen Beach. Of course, we always see some heavy traffic coming through the southbound lanes at this time of the morning. Guys?
All right, thank you, Ashley. I want to give our viewers a heads up this morning. You may see this sign on your drive into work. Westland police are looking for 81-year-old Judith Roberts. So they say she was last seen on Friday sitting in her white Volkswagen Jetta on Wildwood Drive in Westland. That car has a license plate of 501 JYP. They say Judith is 5'6" with short gray hair and glasses. Police also say she has cognitive issues and she may be endangered. She does not have her cell phone with her. If you see her, you can call the non-emergency line that we've put up there on your screen. It's 503-635-0238, or you can simply call 911. Meanwhile, Oregon's special election is tomorrow, and so far the state's mail-in process shows that voter turnout is very low.
Multnomah County reports under 12% of voters have returned their ballots. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz joins us live in Southeast Portland from the county's elections offices. So Thomas, what are officials saying about this?
Well, Drew, in China, officials are saying that it seems like this is going to be a lower turnout election. Right now, Multnomah County is on track for 21% of those ballots to be returned by tomorrow's deadline. And there's some big topics that are on the table this go around. Portland Public Schools, Oregon's biggest school district, is asking for its biggest bond ever. $1.8 billion is how much it's worth. If it's passed, more than $1 billion would be used to modernize and rebuild 3 high schools: Cleveland, Jefferson, and Ida B. Wells. There's also races all across the county for things like fire and water districts, too.
Everything counts. Yep, we pour through the information they send out ahead of time and decide who we're going to vote for.
So those voters who have already cast their ballot, some of them taking their due diligence. Now, voting turnout is always lower during special elections, but this go round is particularly low. In Multnomah County, just under 12% of voters have cast their ballots. Clackamas isn't much better. Just over 12% of voters have cast their ballots there. And elections officials in both counties are urging people to get those votes in now.
You can also come here in person and vote in one of our voting booths if you would like. And if you need assistance voting, if you have a disability or if English isn't your first language, we can assist you with voting and making sure that you can get your ballot in.
Don't wait till the last minute. We want to make sure everybody's ballot's counted.
Drop a ballot off at a library, check to see if it's open. Those 6 on your screen are the ones that are closed. If they are closed, there are drop-off ballot boxes available right outside the doors or nearby. Those are all also available to find online as well. Now, Tim Scott, the Director of Elections here in Multnomah County, says you can also, of course, vote at the district headquarters here, the elections office headquarters that is, or in Gresham at a Transit Voting Express Center. There are also 30+ ballot boxes available across the county. Guys.
Thank you, Thomas. Starting at 8 o'clock this morning, the Clackamas County Commission Board will hear interviews from 5 finalists for former Commissioner Melissa Fireside's seat. So Fireside was elected in November, but later resigned in March after she was charged with 8 felony counts of theft and forgery. She has pleaded not guilty to all charges. All finalists up for her position are all current or former elected officials. They are Happy Valley Mayor Tom Ellis, former Damascus Mayor Diana Helm, former Lake Oswego City Councilors Jeff Goodman and Jackie Mand, as well as Metro Councilor Christine Lewis. The decision is expected to be made by 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Oregon could make some changes to its bottle drop bill. According to the Associated Press, state lawmakers are considering new restrictions on bottle redemption sites. So the suggested changes include allowing stores to refuse bottle returns after 8 p.m. The city of Portland could also set up alternative redemption options like mobile return sites with collection trucks that show up in different neighborhoods. Under the new proposal, stores in the areas that have alternative drop sites could also limit or refuse returns, and convenience stores would be allowed to stop accepting returns at 6 p.m.
An Oregon nonprofit is suing the federal government, demanding it reinstate grant funding. Oregon Humanities and the Federation of State Humanities filed the suit last week against DOJ and the National Endowment for the Humanities. NEH has partnered with state and local humanity councils for decades, but last month, NEH leaders informed state humanities groups that it was pulling funding as part of its efforts to trim the government. Oregon Humanities is now seeking an injunction to hold the NEH accountable for its side of their partnership.
I think the lawsuit is principally about the fact that the executive has overstepped and tried to undo what Congress is obligated to do and has chosen to do for over 50 years.
The nonprofit says about 45% of its budget was funded by the federal government. Earlier this month, it laid off 2 employees and switched everyone else to part-time. It also cut grant and fellowship funds.
So this is a very small amount of funding from the perspective of the federal government, but when you think about Klamath Falls or Burns or LeGrand, $3,000 grant here, $5,000 there, that's what helps knit the community together, and that's what just got pulled.
And the director of Oregon Humanities, who you just heard from, says that the reason for the funding cuts still haven't been made clear, but Oregon Humanities is currently seeking additional emergency funding from the community to continue its services.
All right, take a look at this. Portland's Sunday Parkways is back with the first event of the year taking place yesterday in Southwest Portland. So there were two paths set up between Gabriel Park and Spring Garden Park. One was just for walkers. The other one was for everyone else, people on bikes and tricycles, roller skates, just no cars, please. Sunday Parkways also features lots of vendors, family-friendly activities, and live entertainment.
All these families are out here with all the kids. This is a great experience. And the other good thing is, look at people are getting exercise. They're riding their bikes, they're walking. This is the kind of thing that makes Portland the city it is.
Again, no cars allowed, but cool mustaches like that guy's very much welcomed. The Sunday Parkways event continues next month in June. The next one is set for Sunday, June 29th. That one will happen in Northeast Portland. There you go, Rod. Sunday Parkways back. So is your weather impact alert. It's back.
I was turned away. Now I know it's because I don't have a mustache. So thank you for pointing that out.
No, you don't need the mustache. It's just, encouraged.
Looks good. Yeah. All right. Here's a look at our rain this morning. We do have a KGW weather impact alert up through 10 a.m. because of the timing of the rain slowing down the morning commute. Nothing stormy, but we are starting to see some heavier rain pockets. There's some really heavy rain just north of Longview. The front is getting near the shoreline at this point. And if anything, we're going to see the rain pick up a little bit more and with some heavier rain pockets as we get into that 8 o'clock hour as the front comes in. Really socked in along the coast. That's our Chinook Winds Casino Resort camera in Lincoln City, 52 degrees. Winds have generally been less than 10 miles per hour as we look over the top of Providence Park and up into the West Hills at the low cloud deck and some showers in the area as well. 50 is the number up in the West Hills. PDX is 52. Again, the impact alert, the red color. Just so you know, this is the way we're starting our day. Wet roadways out there will expire at 10 this morning. Just a few scattered showers for the remainder of your day as you get up to about 64. We're all at about 49 or 50 right now. It's 49 in Camas. It's 50 in Beaverton. Good morning, Salem, 51 for you. And good morning up in Aurora, 51 for you. All right, weather map. So this system will weaken as it gets up over the Cascades. Timberline picked up 4 inches of snow over the weekend. They could get at least a snow wet mix up there this morning. Staying in the 30s today. Some traces of rain maybe out into Wasco County. Some traces of rain eventually maybe over into central Oregon today. Our 7-day forecast, the impact alert expiring at 10. After that, the front comes through. Not much rain scattered about for the remainder of the day, but there will still be scattered showers around on Tuesday. And then we warm up on Wednesday with no rain chance and some sunshine. 70 should feel great. But then we're back into the 60s with shower threats on Thursday and Friday. Right now, your Memorial Day weekend starts off with sunshine and 70s on Saturday and Sunday. I am eyeing the threat of some scattered showers on Memorial Day Monday, but that threat may hold off until Tuesday. Here's Ashley.
And we are still tracking a traffic alert here on Interstate 84 for those of you who travel in those eastbound lanes. ODOT reporting a crash here for the past 45 minutes or so. You can see those 2 emergency vehicles there in the left lane. So again, this is on the eastbound side, kind of about that intersection with 33rd or so. There were a few vehicles that appeared to be involved in this. It looks like most of those vehicles have been cleared out at this point, but the slowdown tracking back pretty far here. This is Interstate 84 at Grand Avenue, so close to that intersection or that changeover, with I-5. So as you're getting off I-5 heading out east this morning, expect it to be slow out there. Now we'll take you out to the west side. This is Sunset Highway at Jefferson Street. And of course, more commuters joining this very wet and rainy commute as you see those raindrops hitting our camera there. But so far, no major delays on the west side. Here's a look a little bit further south in Wilsonville. Guys.
Ashley, thank you.
Why are we not doing themed parties like these?
A question that sparked a movement to host an Adam Sandler theme party at Cathedral Park. Coming up, we'll see what the man of the hour even had to say about the event. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues right after this.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pittawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pittawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
All right, this is pretty funny. On Saturday, Cathedral Park in North Portland hosted Sandler in the Park, a local gathering all centered around actor and comedian Adam Sandler. People were encouraged to dress up as their favorite Sandler character and share their favorite movie quotes. The creator of the event said they got the idea simply by rewatching some of Sandler's work and having a desire to make people happy.
I rewatched 50 First Dates like for the bajillionth time, but this time it was like as an adult. Decided to watch it and I was like, why are we not doing themed parties like these? And then I saw themed parties and I was like, why can't I just get a giant community of people who want to do Adam Sandler and not be like the person that waits for an invite to an Adam Sandler themed party? So
yeah, the event also got the attention of the man himself. So he commented on this Instagram post made by the Oregonian saying, quote, "Of course, I love you, Portland. Hope you have a ball." Or something like that. Hope you have a ball. Very cool to see all that fun just for the Adam Sandler stuff. I've never seen 50 First Dates. And that woman said she's seen it a jillion times.
Really?
Yeah, I've never seen that one with Drew Barrymore.
Yeah.
But my boys, I think around the age of 10, fell in love with Adam Sandler. And we watched Happy Gilmore, Billy Madison, and Big Daddy countless times between I know I was young. I know I wasn't probably the best dad letting them watch this, but from the ages of 11 to 15, Big Daddy's a little rough at times.
Well, I've not seen that one.
Okay.
Actually. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Happy Gilmore, though. That's great.
I love
Great.
Happy Gilmore.
Yeah. Did you miss it? A lot of you did. I didn't. I lived in the bullseye, I should say, in what turned out to be the bullseye of hours of heavy rain. Maybe you heard about it if you didn't get it. There was a massive rain, nothing stormy. There was no hail, there was no thunder. It was just heavy rain that went on for a good 6 hours plus that just kind of raced along the Columbia River, including up over my home in Clark County. And at the airport, 1.23 inches of rain fell. That was a record for the date. There were scattered showers as expected throughout the day on Saturday. Now, what caught my attention was that 1.23, that was the most rain in a single day out at the airport since December 6th of 2023, more than 2 years ago. How about that? And it was the most rain this spring over a 24-hour period, or at least 2 days, since March 12th and 13th. So as you know, we haven't had much soaking rain since the month of March, or at least since that very first week of April. Here we are right now. We have the impact alert up because this weather system is producing the rain that's been pretty steady during the heart of our morning commute. So I know we've had at least one accident that our Ashley Grams has been reporting on, and you should allow yourself some extra time out the door this morning. There's nothing stormy here, but we will start to see an increase of heavy rain pockets in the 8 o'clock hour. Right now, there's some heavy rain just up passing Longview. The front that is driving all of this comes through at about 10 this morning, and then behind that, there's not a whole lot going on. By the way, this is a cool air mass. We had 4 inches of snow over the weekend up at Timberline. Our camera up there is not working right now, or I would show it to you. But I do want to point out, if you're going up into the high country, it's chilly, 39 with rain at Government Camp. The roads are fine, it's just chilly. 39 also at Santiam. It's 40 at Willamette Pass this morning. And speaking of Willamette, here's Willamette Valley Vineyards, just south of Salem. Looking out over the valley and the vineyard there on the hill out over I-5, and that's the way we all look. Just a low cloud deck. Portland, very rainy right now. In fact, this is the rainiest the Rose City cameras looked all morning. 52 is the temperature outside, and we're about the same in Salem and Kelso and Astoria. The Dalles is at 49. You have a chance of rain coming later this morning, and we have temperatures all dry in 30s out across. Futurecast shows some heavy rain pockets in that 8 o'clock hour where you see the bright colors. And then now this is 11. Now the front is passed. And we have just a continued scattered shower threat. Not a lot of rain, but there will be some showers on the radar, we think, through the day on Tuesday. So the impact alert up until 10 o'clock this morning for the rain, 64. The scattered shower threat continues tomorrow. Wednesday's our next completely dry day. And then after that, we do have some shower chances returning on Thursday and Friday. Okay, here's Ashley Grams.
Yeah, back to that traffic alert on Interstate 84. It looks like they are making some progress in getting things cleaned up here. You see that one emergency vehicle still there in that left lane. Again, this is the eastbound lanes of Interstate 84. Westbound seems to be moving right along. Of course, we expect more commuters to be joining that westbound commute at this hour. So give yourself a little bit of extra time to get through there. Here's a look all the way back at Grand Avenue. So this is kind of with that interchange with I-5 there, and it's slow getting off I-5 onto 84 this morning. We'll take you to another slow spot. This is Interstate 5 at Victory Boulevard up in North Portland. That southbound commute is just chugging along this morning. Here's a look at those drive times for you. 24 minutes to get you into 405 this morning. A little bit slow on some of our other interstates as well. Eastbound 26, 22 minutes. Westbound 84, also on the slow side. Guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Still to come on Sunrise at 7, former President Joe Biden speaking out for the first time since being diagnosed with cancer. A look at the outcry of support coming up in our national headlines. Sunrise streaming at 7 continues after this.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
We do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
For the past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
Former President Joe Biden made his first public statement on his prostate cancer diagnosis on X, saying, quote, "Cancer touches us all. Like so many of you, Jill and I have learned that we are strongest in the broken places. Thank you for lifting us up with love and support." The former president's office revealed that he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer over the weekend.
NBC's Alice Barr brings us the latest on this news from Washington, D.C.
This morning, an outpouring of support for former President Biden after the announcement he was diagnosed with an aggressive form of prostate cancer that spread to his bones.
Once the cancer has spread to the bones, it's no longer curable, but it's very treatable and very controllable.
The former president's personal office noting the cancer appears to be hormone sensitive, making it more likely to respond to treatment, and saying he was diagnosed on Friday after increasing urinary symptoms.
Testosterone fuels this. It is the food for this type of tumor. So if they can cut out the testosterone, they're more likely to starve the tumor.
As president and vice president, Mr. Biden spearheaded a cancer moonshot initiative aimed at improving treatment and prevention, speaking frequently on the topic after losing his son Beau to brain cancer in 2015.
It's fair to say one of the most devastating words anyone can hear, and it's not hyperbole, is cancer.
President Trump writing that he and the First Lady are saddened to hear about the diagnosis and wish Joe a fast and successful recovery. Former President Obama writing, "Nobody has done more to find breakthrough treatments for cancer in all its forms than Joe." Former Vice President Kamala Harris saying Joe is a fighter who will face this challenge with strength, resilience, and optimism. A source familiar with the Bidens' thinking telling NBC News the former president and family are meeting with doctors and considering multiple treatment options, including hormone treatment. Where he'll be treated, not yet clear, though the support behind him is. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
Now to your morning rush. The House Budget Committee advanced President Donald Trump's multi-trillion-dollar One Big Beautiful bill during a weekend vote. This comes after a group of conservative lawmakers joined Democrats in blocking the bill, pushing for deeper spending cuts. The final vote was 17-16 along party lines, with 4 Republicans who opposed the bill on Friday voting present. The bill now heads to the House floor for consideration. Vice President J.D. Vance and Secretary of State Marco Rubio met with the recently elected Pope Leo XIV at the Vatican this morning. According to the Vatican, the three discussed their views on international issues like the war in Ukraine and called for a respect for humanitarian and international law. The meeting comes ahead of a series of planned diplomatic efforts to make progress towards a ceasefire in Russia's war with Ukraine. And a car explosion yesterday at a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California, injured 4 people. Investigators say the 25-year-old suspect, Edward Bartkus, died in the blast, which is being investigated as an act of terrorism. The FBI says Bartkus left behind writings, recordings, and social media posts that seem to show that he believed people should not have children. The clinic has confirmed that all eggs, embryos, and other reproductive materials were not secure and not damaged, or they were secure, and they were not damaged by the blast. And that is your morning rush.
Yeah, I think it's only going to hit me once it's actually the day of the finale, because sometimes it doesn't feel real.
So here we are. That Seattle area singer is one of the 5 finalists in the latest season of The Voice. The 2-part season finale starts tonight. Coming up at 7:30, a preview, including what her coach, Adam Levine, had to say. Plus.
And then when it rained, it was this hot, mucky stuff that just stuck to your boots and everything. And it became a living nightmare for us.
That man survived a second eruption of Mount St. Helens that happened just days after the initial blast 45 years ago. He'll share that experience with us in our next half hour when the streaming 7 o'clock hour of Sunrise continues right after this.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
we do want to tell you about some breaking news that we're covering this morning.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
The past few hours, we've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind that's been gusting all morning long.
There are level 3 go now evacuation orders in place.
New information that we just got from Portland police.
There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated as we learn more.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
Good morning, I'm Ashley Grams and I'm tracking a traffic alert for you on Interstate 84. This is in the eastbound lanes and you can see kind of causing a trouble spot there at the interchange from I-5. We'll take you in closer to this ODOT camera here. You can see again affecting the left lane, the eastbound lanes there, and they have some flares that they just put on the road here in just a few minutes ago. So give yourself some extra time to get through there. And here's a look a little bit further back from that Grand Avenue intersection. And you can see things just stacking up for those of you who are on I-5 headed out eastbound on Interstate 84. Rod?
And it's that slow going, largely, I'm assuming, because of the wet roadways that we have the KGW weather impact alert up as the system is hitting during the morning commute. Nothing stormy. There's been a heavy rain pocket recently up around Longview, but for the most part, just good old-fashioned rain. There's a Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. There's a very wet camera at Lewis River Golf Course up in Woodland. So again, the rain is widespread. The impact alert up until 10 o'clock this morning. That's when a front comes through. And then after that, just a few scattered showers this afternoon.
7:30 half hour of the Sunrise Show, streaming live on KGW Plus. Did you know? Here's a question for you. Did you know that today is National May Ray Day? May Ray Day. I had never heard of this, honestly, until about 6 minutes ago. But apparently May 19th is a day where people celebrate all the rays of sunshine in their lives as spring gets ready to turn to summer. The idea behind May Ray Day is to go outside, soak up the sun.
Oh, no.
Yeah, soak up the sun. No, this was our producer, Michaela, forwarded me this information. My question to you is, what the heck is it doing outside right now with all that rain? It's supposed to be May Ray Day.
Hello? It was a typo and it was May Rain Day, which would make more sense.
That would make way more sense.
For sure.
Now,
for Portland.
It will be much drier this afternoon, and we might open up some sun breaks, but just a scattered shower threat continuing. But for right now, on this, what'd you call it, May Ray Day?
May Ray Day.
May Ray Day.
Hot Rod with the bod talking about May Ray Day.
I don't even like the name. May Ray? Well, okay, all right. Here we have the solid rain. Notice there is a back edge now moving inland across Clatsop County and dry weather over the Long Beach Peninsula. There's a front that should be clearing our area around 10 o'clock this morning, and that will shut off most of today's rain. But it's been a wet start. Again, nothing stormy, just good old-fashioned rain, 52. It's been widespread, so all of the roadways are wet. And again, we have the impact alert up this morning through 10 o'clock this morning. After that, noon, pretty quiet, 55, a shower chance. Later today, 64, perhaps some sun breaks with a scattered shower chance lingering. Here's Ashley.
And we pick it up with that traffic alert on Interstate 84. We've been tracking this for you for about an hour now, affecting these eastbound lanes. And you can see those flares that are down in that left lane there as the emergency vehicles tend to these cars that were involved in this crash that ODOT reported. So slow going there for those of you who are trying to get around this crash on the eastbound lanes of 84. This is near the intersection of 33rd. We are starting to see some slowing a little bit further back. This is a camera at Grand Avenue and a slow going for those of you who are on that I-5 84 interchange. So expect some extra time getting through there. Another slow spot for those of you in North Portland. This is Interstate 5 at Lombard. You can see folks just kind of chugging along through there. One spot not quite as slow. This is on the west side at 217 before you kind of get close to that Jefferson exit there, a little bit closer to downtown Portland. Guys.
Thank you, Ashley. Top story at 6:30, tragic news from a southeast Portland school. Hosford Middle School announced that one of its sixth graders died Friday after what appears to be an accidental shooting. The school says it's been in contact with the family of Elios Renteria, who allowed the school to share this information. In a statement, Principal Jill Little said, "We will all remember Elios as a sweet, fun-loving, and wonderful kid who brightened the lives of everyone who knew him." Trauma intervention workers will be available at the school today for staff and students.
In Northeast Portland, an investigation is underway to find who set off an explosion in a porta potty at Irving Park. It happened around 4 in the morning on Sunday. Portland Fire and Rescue believes it was an intentional act of vandalism and is asking anyone with information about what happened to give them a call. We also know 2 people suffered serious injuries after this helicopter crash over the weekend in Central Oregon. It happened Saturday morning near the Prineville Airport. The Prineville Review was the first to report on the scene and provided this coverage. First responders say it was a privately owned helicopter that crashed in an open field. The only 2 people on board were the pilot and 1 passenger. We know they were both taken to the hospital, and we don't have an update on their conditions this morning.
An update to a deadly hit and run incident that happened last year, the day after Christmas in Woodburn. We have video that was posted by the city of Woodburn Woodburn, showing the car fleeing from the scene. And now police say the alleged driver, 58-year-old Kenneth Kolarski, has been arrested. He's been charged with allegedly hitting and killing Nicholas Hernandez Mendoza and is being held at the Marion County Jail.
We're also learning more about an effort by Portland police to combat sex trafficking along Northeast 82nd and Northeast Sandy. So the Bureau says over the last 3 months, officers arrested or cited 30 people for commercial sexual solicitation or unlawful prostitution procurement activities. The ages of the arrested range from 18 to 71. Some of them also face weapon or drug charges. During the 3-month period, police say they also towed 6 vehicles and gathered information on suspected traffickers and trafficking organizations.
Our latest story in our Fresh from Oregon series highlights our farmers markets.
Yep, Christine Pitawanich went shopping for some locally grown and locally made products.
Whether it's the music that pulls you in, the mouth-watering smell of cooking food, or the fresh-picked produce and vibrant colors, there are lots of reasons people like Michelle Ross visit the Portland Farmers Market.
And I can just walk here, and it's very chill. I can get some lunch, meet my husband for lunch.
The Portland Farmers Market at Szymanski Park at the corner of Southwest Park and Main happens every Wednesday. What's here? All fresh and all from Oregon.
Hi, I'm Jade Novarino with Campo Colectivo. We grow anything from like a salad mix to peppers in the summer, tomatoes, zucchinis, raspberries, strawberries, and then we do herbs and edible flowers.
Rain or shine, Novarino is one of the roughly 200 vendors spread across the Portland Farmers Market's 5 locations.
Buying direct from farmers ensures that people have good careers, but it also ensures that you have like really nutritious, stable food.
Every single dollar that's spent at farmers markets recirculates directly within the economy, as opposed to grocery stores where when you spend money in a grocery store, most of that money leaves your local community and goes to larger corporations. Farmers markets are also a great place for people to connect with what's grown in their region and connect directly with the people who produce their foods.
It's food Ross can't wait to eat.
Carrots, garlic, and some kale that I've never tried before, so I'm excited.
And you can bet she'll be back.
I don't know, I just like the experience too, and meeting the farmers is great.
In Portland, Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
And this coming Saturday marks the first Rocky View Farmers Market of the season. It's happening each Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 in the Roseway neighborhood on Northeast Siskiyou between 79th and 81st. So the market runs through late October and features more than 20 vendors, educational programming, and food demos. This year also kicks off a new initiative called Full Basket, which is led by the Native American Youth and Family Center. The initiative provides $50 in weekly tokens to people receiving governmental assistance who want to shop at the market. All right, your time now is 7:37. Headed over to Rod Hill for a look at weather on this Weather Impact Alert Day.
It's still raining. Good morning, everybody. Nothing stormy, just good old-fashioned rain. China mentioned the KGW Weather Impact Alert because the system is hitting right during the heart of the morning commute, and obviously widespread steady rain almost always slows things down. So that's our big heads up for you this morning. We are seeing the back edge of this now working across Washington and into Clatsop County. The front comes into Portland no later than about 10 o'clock this morning. And then once that passes, the rain will break into just a few scattered showers for the remainder of today. So this started in the 5 o'clock hour. 21 100ths has fallen up in Astoria, less than a tenth in Kelso, Portland, Salem, and Newport so far. Where you see the zeros, it could be a trace, but in this case, it's just zero. There might be a trace of rain, though, coming eventually this morning in the Dalles and maybe even over into Bend. Here's the inn at Ottercrest down in Lincoln County, and this is the way all of the coast looks right now, just kind of socked in with the cloudiness, and at least south of Astoria, rain is still being reported. There are the raindrops on the lens from our live camera looking at the Capitol down in Salem, 51 degrees. Temperatures have been holding steady since the rain started, 49 in Gresham, 51 down in Wilsonville, West Lynn, and Tigard, and Salem U are at 51 degrees this morning. Milo's our KGW Dog of the Day. Send us your dog photos to dogoftheday@kgw.com. Give us their name, your name, and your dog will become our dog of the day. I mentioned this system potentially produces some very light showers later this morning into early afternoon, Central Oregon and out through the gorge. We'll see. Otherwise, temperatures will be 50s and 60s statewide today. We have the impact alert expiring at 10 o'clock, then the front passes and just a few scattered showers remaining. There will be some showers, though, still scattered about tomorrow. Our next completely dry day is Wednesday. Here's Ashley.
And we are back out to Interstate 84 where a crash is still impacting that eastbound commute right around that intersection with 33rd or so. And we even see some slowing all the way down onto I-5 as well. For those of you in the downtown area, you can see those emergency vehicles still there in the left lane again of that eastbound commute, not impacting the westbound, though we are still seeing some slowing on the westbound as well. This is live from our Drive 8 camera. Photographer Eric Patterson behind the wheel with those windshield wipers going during this wet commute that Rod has been talking about all morning long. He says it should end around 10 or so. So as those of you who prepare to head home for the day should see a much drier commute. I'll take you to one of the other slow spots we're seeing this morning in North Portland. This is I-5 at Columbia, as well as a slowdown on Sunset Highway at the zoo exit. Guys.
All right, thank you, Ashley. Coming up here on Sunrise, we're going to hear from Seattle area singer Lucia Flores-Wiseman. She's one of the 5 finalists on this season of The Voice. Tonight, the big performance, part 1 of a 2-part finale. Don't go anywhere. Sunrise streaming at 7 o'clock continues right after this.
KGW's Evening News. Important stories to help you stay informed and keep your family safe.
Thank you for joining us. I'm Christine Pitawanich.
And I'm David Molko.
Weather impact alerts to help you plan your week.
We need to be extra careful with anything that can throw a spark.
And a team of local journalists connected to our community. David Molko, Christine Pitawanich, and Matt Zaffino. Your Evening News team, tonight on KGW.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
So here we are.
Here we are,
Lucia, at the finale.
Crazy.
A place that I knew you would be.
Thanks.
I mean, in a world of no guarantees, I did feel like this was pretty close to that.
Thank you. That is what lead singer of Maroon 5 Adam Levine had to say about his team finalist Lucia Flores-Wiseman ahead of tonight's Voice season finale. Lucia made it to the final 5 with a performance of Black Hole Sun by Soundgarden last week. She's from Maple Valley, Washington, which is near Seattle, and will be representing all of the Pacific Northwest in tonight's final performance. Here's what she had to say when she was asked about the possibility of her name being called as the winner.
You have to believe in yourself. You have to believe that your name can be called by Carson Daly. So yeah, I'm definitely imagining that, because there is a reality out there where I can win. And there's a reality where all the other 4 contestants could also win as well. But yeah, I'm preparing myself for that moment. I'm also preparing myself for getting 5th place. And if I get 5th place, oh my goodness, that's still such an amazing accomplishment.
You can watch the season finale performances starting tonight at 8 on Channel 8. Then you can tune in tomorrow to see if our girl from Washington can take home that prize.
Rod, how do you feel about 5th place?
Honestly, my thought was, that's not good. We won first. All right, maybe
if you
second.
ain't first, you're last.
I know that about you, because every time we're talking sports, he's like, if your team doesn't win the championship, what's the point? I'm like, well, sometimes seasons can still be great, even if they don't end with a championship.
That's when we switch and we start talking about the Blazers. You're right.
Speaking of seasons.
All right, here we go. What are we talking about, China? We're talking about all that rain that fell Saturday. Yeah. And I realize a lot of you didn't get this, and maybe you don't even know about it. A huge clump of rain that went on for roughly 6 hours moved right along the Columbia River. We still had scattered heavy showers throughout the day, but this record rainfall out at the airport, primarily from that Friday overnight into early Saturday morning deluge that hit that area. 1.23 came down in the gauge out at the airport. That was a record, or is a record, for the date. And what caught my attention, and the reason I'm really showcasing this, is the second line of this graphic. Most rain in a single calendar day at PDX since December 6th of 2023. That's more than 2 years ago. That's what kind of a downpour it was. There was no hail, there was no thunder or lightning. It was just rain. All right. So guess what today is? Day number 9 of cooler weather than normal, and tomorrow will be day number 10. So this has all of a sudden been a pretty long run of cooler than normal weather for May, and we're getting some rainfall out of it. Certainly that's the case this morning. Rain amounts getting up to about 1/10 of an inch, it looks like, across the area. We're starting to see some drying along the coast. This front should clear I-5 by about 10 o'clock or so this morning. We have the impact alert up for the wet morning commute. We'll pull that alert once the front passes at about 10. And then after that, just a few scattered showers for the remainder of your day. Nothing stormy here. Right now, some heavier rain up between Longview and Mount St. Helens. But for the most part, it's just wet. That's certainly the scene from the Rose City camera, 52. There's a temperature. Here's the Oregon Veterans Home camera out in the Dalles, where it has been a dry morning up until just recently. Now the airport finally reporting your first raindrops. 49 degrees with that system pushing rain through the gorge. 50 over in Bend. You could see a light shower today. Right now we're all drying in the 30s in Baker City, John Day and Burns. Futurecast 8 o'clock this morning, showing some heavier rain pockets starting to pop. Here we are at 11. Now the front is past and most of the rain goes with it. You see the green, though, just a few scattered showers around for the remainder of today and this evening. Maybe you find some of that, maybe you don't. The scattered shower threat will continue tomorrow, and then I have a completely dry day for us on Wednesday. So about 64 today and tomorrow. The mostly sunny 70-degree day Wednesday, but just like that, a downward trend again, or turn, with at least possible showers on Thursday and Friday. Right now, the Saturday, Sunday of Memorial Day weekend looks all dry with some sun and highs back up into the 70s. It is birthday time. All right, we begin this morning's Monday party with Charlotte, who is 12. I love this photo. I'm not sure where that's at, but I love the bear there eating the sandwich. Happy birthday, Charlotte. 12 years old. Claire is 16, and she's got a trophy there. Happy birthday. Congratulations to you. Beth is 69. I'm going to say Beth likes to party. She's got the wild glasses on there. Happy birthday to you. David is 70. Happy birthday to you. And that is our list today. Birthdays at KGW.com, and we will celebrate with you. Here's Ashley.
My goodness, it is still slow going for those of you who are commuting on Interstate 84, both directions, both westbound and eastbound. But we have been tracking a crash that ODOT reported on eastbound throughout this entire morning. You see those flares on the road there in the left lane, those emergency vehicles tending to that crash site. This has been going on for over an hour now. Again, this is the eastbound lanes near that intersection with 33rd. I do want to take you, though, to those westbound lanes. This is live from Drive 8. This is... Thank you to Eric Patterson for driving around for us, being our eyes and ears on the road here. And of course, those windshield wipers going because of this wet morning commute, slow heading into the city there on the westbound commute in the Hollywood district. And I'll give you one look here at 205 Government Island. This is the Glenn Jackson Bridge. Things moving right along there.
Ashley, thank you. Sunday marked 45 years since the Mount St. Helens eruption that rocked the Pacific Northwest.
KGW's Celine Stevens paid a visit to Toutle, Washington over the weekend to learn more about the impact of the eruption and also how the landscape around the mountain has changed over the past 4 decades.
It was desolate. It was ugly gray desert. It was terrible. It was dead.
If you look out toward Mount St. Helens in recent times, it looks anything but dead.
It's coming back. It's all turning green, and it's amazing what 20 years difference made.
The eruption of Mount St. Helens back in 1980 led to the death of 57 people, making it the deadliest volcanic eruption in U.S. history.
So we are standing in the blast zone right now, and this was completely wiped out. It took out an area of 230 square miles, roughly the area the size of Chicago, in 3 minutes.
It killed thousands of animals and destroyed the environment, with the damage amounting to over $1 billion. It
was one of the most well-documented volcanic eruptions.
Many still remember the day and went up to the Science and Learning Center at Coldwater for the 45th anniversary.
I went to the window and looked out, and I went, holy crap. Not exactly what I said, but big plume. 20,000 feet or so, and by then, I guess.
I actually lived in Longview when it erupted and got a lot of pictures over the trees of the big cloud. And so this is just kind of reminiscing for me.
Even those who weren't in the area when the volcano blew also stopped by Sunday, knowing the historical significance of Mount St. Helens.
Oh, it's very important to actually know what's going on in your environment around you, especially considering we're in the Pacific Rim of Fire here. There's 5 active volcanoes here in Washington State.
This Science and Learning Center at Coldwater, about 7 miles away from the volcano itself. Anna Coburn, lead park ranger at Mount St. Helens National Volcanic Monument, explains the impact of the volcano's eruption beyond the destruction.
It shaped the way we think of disaster response around volcanoes and preparedness. It shaped the way we think of ecology and how fast things can come back.
While the 45th anniversary brought less than an ideal view of the mountain, the center still offered learning experiences for visitors, including exhibits, a gift shop, and a film. While it's still active, Coburn says people shouldn't be too alarmed, but still, never forget its power.
It's still a very serious thing. It's still a very frightening thing to have in your backyard, so it's always good to be a little scared of this thing.
Now, May is also Volcano Awareness Month, so if you'd like to come out and enjoy the landscape or just learn more about this volcano, this center is now open on weekends from 10 to 4 and will be open 7 days a week for the summer by mid-June. In Toutle, Celine Stevens, KGW News.
This morning, we're also hearing from a man who says he was just below Mount St. Helens when it erupted a second time, a few days after that bigger initial blast. He was part of a film crew sent to document the aftermath of the eruption on the ground. And he told our sister station in Seattle that assignment wound up becoming a lesson in survival.
My experience at Mount St. Helens was literally unforgettable.
It's been 45 years since Mount St. Helens erupted. But for 65-year-old Michael Lee now, it's a time that will always stick with him.
Here's some of the photos of our journey. I can smell and taste it just like it was yesterday. I guess I've lived it so many times since then and been able to share it. But it's a stark reminder, of how quickly things can change.
Lee now was 20 years old when the volcano first erupted. Just days after, he and 4 others were tasked by a Seattle film production company to capture the aftermath from the ground. But they never expected what would happen next.
The heavy magnetism in the ash caused our compass to spin around in circles. So we got disoriented, got lost. We eventually had to spend the night, and that night, Mount St. Helens erupted.
He says heavy ash started falling on them and eventually turned into rain. And with large trees toppled over from the first eruption, they were trapped in the dangerous elements.
It was extremely difficult to climb up and over those trees, and there was layers of ash on it. And then when it rained, it was this hot, mucky stuff that just stuck to your boots and everything. And it became a living nightmare for us.
The nightmare continued for 4 days. They were suffering from hypothermia, starvation, and dehydration, losing hope rapidly, until rescue crews spotted them.
They were surprised to find us, and we were surprised that they found us. It was a great relief, and it just seemed like angels coming out of the sky when we saw those Huey helicopters.
Lee now takes a lot of lessons from his experience, but admits,
I don't think I would do it again, but I'm glad that I had the experience and that it worked out the way that it did for us.
And over on KGW Plus, you can watch our Vault special, relive the lead-up, eruption, and aftermath with rare KGW archive footage. You can find our free streaming app on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. We'll be right back.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news, live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free.
Police are asking some people to stay inside their homes.
We've watched officers coming and going.
Flames blowing in this wind. There is no danger to the public. We'll keep you updated.
Stream extended coverage right here on KGW Plus.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW Plus.
All right, before we go this morning, today marks the start of the City of Portland's Walk and Bike to School or Work Week. The city says the event celebrates Portland's love of active transportation and reaffirms its commitment to safer city streets. So the city is kicking the week off from 8:30 to 9:30 this morning at City Hall with remarks from City Council vice presidents, community guest speakers. You can also make yourself your own commemorative button at a button making station.
Oh, really?
They got a button making station.
Oh,
first of its kind.
Making a button. We're gonna hang on this fact for a little bit. What do you
I've
got?
never been to a button making station. I want to go. All right, 64 today. We'll lift the impact alert at about 10 this morning. That's when the front pushes through and most of today's rain will end. Although scattered showers continue in the forecast through the day tomorrow.
And we'll take you back out to Interstate 84, and it has cleared. Wow, after an hour and a half of tracking this crash in the eastbound lanes, it is not in the way anymore, but you can see there is still a slowdown on those westbound lanes, although it doesn't look like that's due to any kind of crash or unexpected delay. Here's a look at your drive times right now. 35 minutes from Troutdale to get in there to I-5, and a slowdown for those of you who are on southbound I-5 as well.
Hey, I made a button. I made a button. If you push this button, it'll bring up the final visual of the morning here on the Sunrise Show. You want to hit it?
Yeah.
Wow. Oh boy,
Oh.
it works. My button works.
Yeah, because it gives us a reminder that you can watch sunrise here every day live exclusively on KGW Plus 7 to 8. We're happy to have you. We'll be happy to see you tomorrow. Have a great day.